listening to, I say you are listening to, you are absolutely listening to the George Espinlove Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
You're a rowdy bunch. That's all right. Yeah, the rowdier the better. Thank you. Thank you to all of our friends down the street, around the corner, across this great nation, and around the world. Welcome to the George Espinlove Show. We're going to get right at it here in just a few minutes, but I want to encourage you to keep those emails coming. George C.E. That's George C.E. at Comcast.net. You send them to us, we'll send you some back, and everyone will be happy, I hope. We come to you live every single night, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Spreaker Network. And we are live from the Funny Farm, where anything can happen to anyone at any time, regardless of whatever's. Does that all make sense? If it doesn't, remember, you're listening to us from the Funny Farm, and that makes all the difference in the world. Where do we live? We live in a place called Our World. We have no idea where that is. We have no specific mailing address. We don't have a mailbox. And as I explained to you the other night, we don't even have a postmaster or a post office or a postal person, whatever they're called, a mail delivery person. We live in our world, and we like it here. It's a lot safer in our world than it is in yours. And we're always looking for brand new loons. That's right. We're always looking to make the family bigger. Here's all you have to do to become a full-fledged loon here on the Funny Farm. Just tune in. That's all. And by you tuning in, you're signifying to us that you want to let your hair down, get loose, get in a groove, and become a full-fledged loon. And you're not concerned about what people says or what they think, or if they give you that big hairy eyebrow thing, you know what I mean, that turned up hairy eyebrow. You're not concerned about any of those things. You're just going to express yourself and have a good time. You don't have to purchase anything. You don't even have to sign anything to become a full-fledged loon. So if you're listening tonight for the first time, I welcome you to the family. We have a guest, a talented guest on tonight from Nashville, Tennessee, and his name is M. Callahan. He can sing, he can play, and he writes songs, and he has a talent that is being promoted, and people are taking notice. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, help me welcome M. Callahan. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hey, George, thanks.
It's a delight to have you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, sure. You want the long story or the short story?
Sure, we got lots of time. We'll take the long version.
All right. Well, I grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I grew up around country music. My dad played a little bit of country music growing up. He always had an old Alvarez guitar with him laying around the house, and that's pretty much how I got started, was listening to him play old Merle Haggard songs and Johnny Cash. And we'd sit around the kitchen table at night and we'd pick away. I wasn't very good, starting off, but I would spend hours and hours, working on it, and he was a big influence on my life, just getting me started. So I did that for a while and progressed. Ended up moving down to Texas, and at that point landed in Austin, Texas. And they've got a really good music scene down there. There's a lot of country, a lot of blues, just a little bit of everything down there. So I was able to get out, do some touring, do a lot of writing, and just really got me acclimated into the whole idea and the whole life of living the music, basically. Basically down in Texas for a while, playing music. Went through Houston, was playing with a couple bands, and then finally, just made the move up to Nashville, and really needed to be where there were a lot more songwriters, and there were some record labels and some publishing companies. So I've been up here for 4 years, just hitting the pavement, trying to get some things done.
What's life like in Nashville for us folks that, we know the music comes out of Nashville. A lot of music comes out of Nashville, but what's it like to be in the crux of things down there?
Well, as a musician, it's tough. There's so many great people in Nashville. I just, every second you turn around the corner and you're bumping into a great songwriter. There are great vocalists everywhere, and it's just it's really interesting, man. It depends where you are. If you're starting out and you're trying to get your feet wet in the business, it's a little bit of a struggle. So you just really have to stick with it, and there's a lot of times being in this environment to where you're like, man, I can't take it. But you have to, you got to push it that extra day. You have to stay in it, and you have to have something so deep within your soul to where you can't quit, because the business it's that hard. So it's like, by the time you listen to music on the radio, those guys and girls have been through a lot of work. There's a huge backstory that you don't really hear.
Uh-huh.
You hear the phrase of an overnight success. Well, they were an overnight success, but it took them 15 years to get there.
Right.
So it's a tough town, man. It's a great town, but it's tough. You got to have your chops, and you got to work. You can't come here and not work your butt off. 15
years. It was a long night, right?
15 years. Well, I haven't been here 15 years, but I'm hoping I can get something going a little bit quicker than that.
But I like when you said that they become an overnight success, and us people out here that's not reaching for those goals that the musicians and singers and songwriters are. We're out here doing other things. Mm-hmm. When we see an overnight success, you hit it right on the nail. We think, wow, yesterday they just happened to fall into the right place at the right time, and today they're on top. But yeah, that could be an awful long night, 4 years, 5 years, 15 years before anything develops.
Oh, sure, yeah, and and the odd part about it is it is still about meeting the right person at the right time here. Mm-hmm. But when you do meet the right person at the right time, you just need to make sure that you're prepared, and that's where those extra years come into play. Making sure when you finally do hand off that song, it's sparkling. It's they can't deny that song is a hit. If you're trying to get a cut, if you're trying to be an artist, they can't deny that. Man, that voice is that's somebody we've got to have on the radio. I'm willing to invest my time in that person. So, you need to be prepared for that opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes opportunity might only come knocking once, huh?
Yeah, you never know.
I liked what you said, there's times that you want to quit, but you just can't. That's that old tenacity, even some stubbornness, and the inside of you says, "I'm going to quit. I'm stopping right here," and your feet are still moving. That's when people get things done, huh?
Yeah, totally. I think I think you got to have that. I think you need it. And that's what makes country music great. I mean, there's you're really living it when you get out here and you're struggling and you can barely pay your bills. I mean, when you hear some of those lyrics on the country music radio, I mean, they're not BSing. That's real life going on. So, yeah, man, just keeping your head up and pushing forward and making relationships out here, making friends, and just really sticking to it. You got to believe in what you do. You need to believe in your music and believe that it can change people's lives. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm doing it is to be able to touch people's lives, so where they can hear something and be like, this person is experiencing something that I've experienced, and I'm not the only one going through this. I want to be able to do that. I want to help people.
That's what I've always liked about country music is they talk about real life things. I mean, things that have happened in their lives. My pickup truck don't work and my barn burnt down. But I mean, when it's put all together, it's a story of someone's life and their experiences all put into music, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of these songs, that you've got in your studio are just like that. I've gone through experiences, and then I've come home, in the middle of the night and sat down with a blank sheet of paper, and by the time the sun's coming up, there's a full song done. So you're totally right on that. It's just like that.
That's always amazed me how folks can sit down and write a song. When did you know that you were, destined to be a songwriter, or when did you know that I can write songs?
I started writing music when I was probably around 11 years old, and I don't think that I thought that was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. I think it was an outlet to express myself. I was a little shy growing up. You'd probably say I was a little bit of an introvert, and that was a way for me to express myself when I was younger, and it was fun. You do it when you're little. You do it because you're like, man, this is fun. So that's really how I got started doing it. I didn't really necessarily get started out thinking like, I want to be on the radio and be on a huge tour and this and that. And it was simple, and I think that's what's cool about songwriting. It can be very simple and innocent, and people do it for all sorts of reasons.
Isn't it amazing that, and I've always said, and it's only me, it's only my thought, isn't it amazing that God can give people talents such as songwriting, and they can sit down and they can pull something out of the depths of their soul and put it on paper, and then it goes out and it touches multiplied hundreds and thousands and even millions of other people?
Yeah, it is amazing. It's like a sculptor. You see these great statues, and they started out with a hunk of rock, and they chiseled away until they were able to represent or display what they had in their imagination. And I think songwriting is a little bit like that. You sort of start out with an idea in your head, and you're chiseling away at the blank pages until you can form that idea that's tangible for everybody else to be able to sit down and understand that, whether it be lyrically or whether it be melodically. And yeah, it's an interesting thing how it can touch so many people's lives, how it can it really can transcend, and that's the power of music.
Do you write all of your music, or I guess you write some of it with other people too?
Yeah, I usually the process is that I'll sit down and I'll come up with either a lyrical hook or I'll come up with a melodic hook, and I'll sit down and I'll write. Some of them I'll write the whole thing. So other songs I'll write half of them, or I'll write the whole song and then I'll bring it to a producer or I'll bring it to another co-writer, and they'll have their perspective will be a little bit different.
Uh-huh.
And they'll look at the song that I thought I already had done, and they'll be like, you know what, it's not quite done. Maybe we should reword this in the second verse, or have you thought about that? Maybe we could say this at the end of the chorus. And it's cool because it broadens the spectrum of the material that you're writing to fit for a larger audience, so more people can relate to that. And that's what I want. I want a larger audience to be able to relate to what I'm doing, to understand what I'm trying to say. And sometimes the only way to get there is to have other perspectives from other writers. So yeah, I do write some songs all, 100% by myself, and other ones, I write with the co-writer.
Mike, one thing that I have learned in my life, and I don't know exactly when I finally digested it, but I found out, I understand, I realize that we all need other people. I don't care what we're doing in life. If we're going to be a success, we need someone to the right, to the left, behind us, in front of us, as we make our journey through life. No man is an island.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I found out in my life. So I guess that old cliche, they say two heads is better than one, is I guess that's about right most of the time, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think especially with music, because if you're a writer and you're a solo artist, you spend a lot of time alone, and you're trying to come up with these ideas, and you're always going to be sort of a perfectionist. I mean, nothing can be perfect, and but you'll shoot for that, and in shooting for that, sometimes you don't really hit the mark, and it really, like I said about perspective, it really helps to bring in that another set of eyes to look at the lyrics, to look at are we losing what you're trying to say in this song? Is the audience really, are they going to really understand that? And that's just on the songwriting side of it. I mean, you get into the music business, and that's a whole different thing. I mean, you've got so many different aspects when it comes to radio promotion. You've got management, and then you've got public relations. So it's really hard to do everything by yourself. I mean, when you're first getting started, you sort of have to do that just because, and you really don't have any money to hire anybody. And two, you may not know anybody that can help you, do those things, so you're by yourself.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think definitely at some point in your career, you need to start building a team and making sure that team has your vision and everybody has the same goals, so you don't lose the artistry in what you're trying to say in your music.
How about if we play one of your songs?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Baptized by Your Love. That's what, number 10 on the, is it the Indie Music Channel?
Yeah, we've got it on the Indie Music Channel with the video up, and Chris Ewing actually was out in LA last week talking to him, and great guy. He's really supporting independent musicians, so he's been instrumental in getting that song out to a couple radio stations that are putting it into rotation. So really happy about that.
And before we hit our magic button, can folks still vote?
I'm not sure if people can still vote, but please click on the link. I think every week it renews, and you can vote to keep the person in the top 10. So please check it out. And I know, I've got, at M Callahan Music for Twitter. There's a lot of posts on there with links, and then my Facebook is M Callahan Music as well. And you can also go to my website and find some links to get on there and do a little research and try to vote and stuff like that.
I know you could vote up until this morning because that's when I passed through and cast my vote. And
okay, nice.
We can keep going back and voting, right?
Yeah, I would say keep on going back.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, baptized by your love, M. Callahan.
Heaven sent me an angel to believe in, as I lay broken, dying on the floor, like a desert rain blown in to heal the valley. A single kiss from you can save my soul. Only you believe this heart of stone could feel again. Baby, you free me from this hell I'm living in. I'm baptized by your love. I always thought that faith was for the foolish. Despite myself, I live to prove that wrong. How could I have known so much was missing until I found salvation in your arms? Only you believe this heart of stone could feel again. Baby, you free me from this hell I'm living in. I'm baptized by your love. So I roll out of bed, it's a brand new day. Splash a little water up on my face, and I give thanks for your love. Now I'm looking at you the way you're looking at me. Never thought it'd happen to a guy like me. I'm holding on to your sweet love. Only you believe this heart of stone could feel again. Baby, you free me from this hell I'm living in. Maybe you could say I'm blessed. Maybe you could say I'm saved. Maybe you could say I'm baptized by your love. By your love.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, is M. Callahan, baptized by your love. That's beautiful, Mike.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You, let me tell the folks go to mcallahanmusic.com, and there you can, as we say all the time, read all about it. We were talking about some download codes and some odds and ends. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, I was going to say, George, I mean, anybody listening tonight, or I'm sure they can listen to it again once it's rebroadcast, shoot me an email, go to my website, and just drop me a line, and I'll send you a download code, and it'll have the full album on there, and then you can also download 2 music videos. So, and I'll also be sending George some cards, too, so you can hand those out or mail them out. Just get in touch, and we'll get you some goodies.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, you can't beat that with a stick. So, you mentioned songwriting is one side of the industry, but you do it all. You write songs, and then you get into the singing stuff too. You just take it all on, right?
Yeah, I try to. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the day. I do the vocals on everything. Being a solo artist, that's something you just sort of do, and that's a whole process. The whole recording process. Is we'll go basically. I work with basically a producer in town, and he's a writer, Michael Hunter Oakes, and you can look him up too. He's www.oaksongs.com, and he's had some success with Josh Groban, Eric Heatherly, a couple different artists. So he's someone where I was able to go into this with my music and with my voice, and he's listened to things and he's given me suggestions when I'm in the vocal booth cutting a track. It's like, well, maybe you should say this, or try to elongate the way you end this line in a chorus. So I have some help when I go in there, and that's talking again about having another person's perspective, having more than one head together. So. His ears help out, when you're in the vocal booth doing these things.
If you have any comments or questions, give us a buzz. 302-497-3414. That's 302-497-3414. Mike, I want to play Chicken on a Chain.
All right.
I've been playing the dickens out of that thing.
You like that one? You like Chicken on a Chain?
I like Chicken on a Chain. How'd you come up with Chicken on a Chain?
Well, that's an interesting story. I was actually going to a bull riding competition here in Nashville, which is very fitting. And the Pro Bull Riding Association went to go watch this, and this big old bull came out into the center of the stage out there, and this little cowboy jumped on his back, and he was getting ready to go, and this bull looked really mean. And they announced the name of the bulls before all the cowboys ride on them. And this big old bull, they went on the intercom. They said his name, and this bull's name was Chicken on a Chain. I was like, man. I think I would be a chicken on a chain attached to that thing, but I at the same time, I was like, man, you could write a song about personal relationships, and I've had some times where I felt like I was a chicken on a chain, and I was running around doing chores for my girlfriend or doing this or that. So I had to write a song about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chicken on a Chain. You're going to love it.
I was ruling the roost every Saturday night, free as a bird, just living the life. Punching quarters in that old jukebox, and the party ain't a party till till the sun comes up. She was a fox in the hen house, and from where I stood, that girl was working that thing, looking finger licking good. Some romancing, some dirty dancing, shaking and a baking. Now I'm like a chicken on a chain. My little heart's a going bang, bang, bang. And she keeps a tossing me the grain. I can't remember my name. I'm like a chicken on a chain. Chicken on a chain. Now I'm cuddling on the couch and rubbing her feet, washing up the dishes, putting down the toilet seat. And once a month we have a heart-to-heart talk. Can't believe I'm buying tampons at the Stop and Shop. She got me twisting like a pretzel on a yoga mat. The next thing I know, she'll be waxing my back. Call me battered and deep fried, toss me in the bucket. I'm like a chicken on a chain. My little heart's a going bang, bang, bang. And she keeps a tossing me the grain. I can't remember my name. I'm like a chicken on a chain. Chicken on a chain. I'm like a chicken on a chain. Chicken on a chain. I'm putty in her hands after one touch. You ask me, that woman's got the right stuff. The two of us, we can really turn the heat up with champagne and Pizza Hut. A chick flick, I'm bound to get plucked. I'm like a chicken on a chain. My little hearts are going bang, bang, bang. And she keeps a tossing me the grain. I can't remember my name. I'm like a chicken on a chain. Chicken on a chain. I'm like a chicken on a chain. Chicken on a chain. Hey. Come on now. Chicken on a chain. I'm like a chicken on a train.
Chicken on a chain. I like that. That's some good foot tapping, finger snapping, head bobbing, booty shaking music.
All right.
When you when you go, are you touring?
Yeah, I play shows around. Sometimes I'll play shows in Nashville. I played a little small show out in Santa Barbara last week, so it's sparse, and I usually have my show schedule up on my website too. So if anybody goes there, they can check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, go to mcallahanmusic.com and you can read all about it. Do you have a band, Mike?
You know, I've got guys that I use that back up the shows. So I don't have anybody that's like a permanent fixture yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got some really great guys that can play some mean steel guitar and some different stuff on there.
Did I read that you did? And correct me if I'm wrong, because I can get things wrong in a heartbeat. Did you do some acting in Nashville? Or?
Yeah, I did. I was at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and I was playing in a little small dive bar, basically down the street from where I live here on Music Row. And after I got done playing, a producer and a casting agent came up and they said, "Hey man, you ever act before?" And I was like, "No, not really." Like, well, we like the way you look and we like the way you sing. We want you to come in for an audition. It's for a play. It's going to be at the Country Music Hall of Fame. It's its debut. Just why don't you come down and try it out? So I'm like, well, I'll go, but I'm not guaranteeing you anything over here. I'm definitely not an actor. So I go there, tons of people there auditioning, professional people flying in to do this, and I'm like, oh man, what am I doing? This is going to be great. So I go up there, and I did the best I could, and I think they had mercy on me, and I guess they liked me, and they ended up calling me the next day, and they're like, man, you have the part. They're like, you're exactly sort of what we're looking for the lead role with your background and everything. You're pretty much the character already. So I think that's why I got it. I didn't actually have to act. I was already like that. So I got lucky, and I did that for a while, playing at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and it was really cool. I got to meet a lot of neat people, and it was a new experience. It was nerve-wracking learning all those lines and learning all the songs and things like that, but I'm glad I did it.
Did you get any brain cramps while you was studying your lines and all those things?
Yeah, man. I was sitting down in my kitchen with a highlighter every night, trying to highlight these lines and to remember them. And thankfully I did. But man, those actors, I don't know how they do it, memorizing all those lines. It is tough.
Are you? That's pretty neat, though. I like that. Are you planning on doing any more?
I am so busy with doing music and writing and recording and trying to do radio interviews and doing stuff like that. I really haven't had a chance to sit down and even really think about that. I wouldn't mind doing it. I have a lot of fun. But, if it happens in the future, then I'll definitely, go ahead and do that. But I'm busy as is with the music for right now.
That would be an interesting experience. I had an actor on. In fact, she was a very famous actor. She did a lot of television and the big screen a couple of times. But she's recently written a book, and I had her on here a few weeks ago. And she says, George, did you ever do any acting? And I said, well, only when I had to, but that wasn't in front of cameras. I guess we've all acted in our life. And I said, sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And when it didn't, there was bad consequences to my acting. So, that would really be neat to do some real legitimate acting. That's
well. You know what, George, too? It's like, when you're doing, I think doing that helped me for when I'm on stage, too, because there is a little bit of, there's a little bit of acting, I think, when you're playing live, people are there to have a good time, and they've been working all week, and they want to relax, and, it's show business, and you're putting on a good show, so, I think, I'm glad I did it. I think I learned a thing or two.
When did you get over your shyness, or is there still some shyness there?
Oh, I'm still a little shy. I think it comes and goes. When I'm on stage, I don't know, just something happens. I'm more of an extrovert when it comes to sitting on stage and playing. I'll laugh a lot and talk to the audience and goof around. When I'm not on stage, I'm probably more of the introvert, nerdy songwriter, country guy.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it is who I am. I don't know, but. I think for what I'm doing, it's perfect because I can sit and be an introvert and be in my bedroom and write music, and then when I'm ready to go perform, I'm an extrovert. So it's been working so far.
I think when that extrovert pops out, and I'm much the same way, but I think when that when that comes out, it comes out because you're in the right place where you're supposed to be. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and there is a passion that is your heartbeat that causes you to come alive, because that, like you said, that's just you. And then when you walk out of that little whatever, that little realm back into the other place, it's just like going back and forth. And I'm glad I'm not the only person. and I think you're the first person I ever asked that. But I'm so glad I'm not the only person that has experienced that.
Yeah, no, I know. I guess my comfort zone is on the stage.
I think a lot of actors and there's probably a whole lot of other people out there that's in different professions that's just like that.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I never really thought about it in the past either. I was, I don't know, it was maybe a couple of months ago, and she was, I think she mentioned something like, you know, she was talking about her, she's a musician too. She plays in an awesome band out here in Nashville. I'm going to do a shameless plug for the Lowry sisters. But she was saying that. She was like, you know, when I'm on stage, I actually get a little shy. And in person, she's really extroverted. So I found that really unusual. And she was like, but when you get on stage, you're really extroverted. I was like, well, I guess opposites attract. I don't know.
Maybe we're on to something, Mike. We can get a research program going on this thing. You know, that'd really be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, M. Callahan, Wrecking My World.
Child with an old soul, she walks a straight and narrow up on the tightrope. She don't wear her heart on her sleeve, 'cause it's hiding underneath. She got her drunk tattoo where the sun don't shine, a little rough around the edges, but she cleans up fine. Yeah, I don't know how she does it, but she does it for me. Yeah. Her smile makes a mess out of me. One look knocks me off of my feet. I never thought I could feel this way over a girl, but I love the way she's wrecking my world. She tells me take a cold shower, get those thoughts off my mind. The things I think about her, they ought to be a crime. She gets off on playing games, but we're playing for keeps. I'm going 90 miles an hour around some dangerous curves. It's getting out of control. We could crash and burn, but I got the feeling forever's just in reach. Yeah. Her smile makes a mess out of me. One look knocks me off of my feet. I never thought I could feel this way over a girl, but I love the way she's wrecking my world. Her tender touch tears me to pieces. Yeah, she's my favorite weakness. Oh, my beautiful weakness. Her smile makes a mess out of me. One look knocks me off of my feet. I never thought I could feel this way over a girl, but I love the way her smile makes a mess out of me. One look knocks me off of my feet. I never thought I could feel this way over a girl, but I love the way she's wrecking my world.
Wrecking My World. I had a gal from Texas on night before last by the name of Hilda Lamas, and I was telling her that when I'm listening to different artists, I have I call it a built-in goosebump machine, and if that music gives me goosebumps quickly, then I know that that's the music that I want. Does that make any sense?
That makes perfect sense.
That's scary, you know that.
I hear a lot of professional people say that work at record labels. So
yeah. But it's true, and I'll throw them a plug in while we're here. I want to thank people down at musicalley.com for all the fine artists that I call it down there. I don't know if it's down there, over there, behind me, to the right, to the left, but I call it down there. But musicalley.com, that's where I come across you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this every time we have a singer, songwriter, musician, or an artist on here. We haven't played any what I call traditional mainstream music on this show in, I'll bet it's been 6, 7, 8 months now. Because we're out there looking for folks that are getting it done. And in fact, unless I'm in the automobile on the road or something, I don't listen to much mainstream radio. I'll have CDs playing, or I'll have the iPad, but whatever. I'll have one of them devices playing, and I'm playing music that's written and done by all you guys and gals that's out there. Mm. And I think it is a great, great, great world that we live in with all the technology that we have today. How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, I couldn't agree more, and thanks to you and everybody else doing their own radio shows to bring smaller artists out into the mainstream so other people can hear them, because there's really not, if you're looking at conventional media, like trying to get on an FM station, it's pretty hard to get on those stations. I mean, to break through with all the major label artists, that's not an easy task. So it's great to have an outlet that people can come and hear some different music. If they don't want to always hear the same song over and over again, they can find your show and they can find somebody else's show to hear something fresh, something new, something that suits them. So yeah, man, it's a great thing.
I'm always telling my wife before I come to studio tonight. I told her, and I call her mom. She calls me dad because we raised 4 kids, got 11 grandkids. But nonetheless, I said, Mom, you've got to tune in tonight because she loves country music. And I said, you're going to love this guy when you hear him. So, Mom, if you're listening, I hope you're tapping your feet, bobbing your head, snapping your fingers, and up there in the kitchen shaking your booty or doing something anyhow. But your music is fantastic, Mike, and you got a tremendous, tremendous voice. And I'm sure other people's told you that before too.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
How about if we play this? This is another one. I like them all, but this is another one I like. Check Out Boy.
All right.
Would that work?
That'll work. Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Check Out Boy.
I heard all the ladies love a man in a uniform. Well, I got a bright blue vest and a pair of Velcro shoes. But when I click that neon sign, they all come running, looking for a little express lane rendezvous. I'm gonna scare them out, your bag them buns, gonna sack those thighs, thinking my oh my, hate to see them go, but love to watch them leave. There's a cleanup on aisle 3. Yeah, it's minimum wage, but sometimes it pays to be the checkout boy. There's a blonde-haired bombshell bopping down my grocery runway with a tiny tank top tied right above her cut-off jeans. Ma'am, did you find everything okay? 'Cause I know that I did. You don't need no receipt, satisfaction's guaranteed. I'm gonna scan them melons, gonna bag them buns, gonna sack those thighs, thinking my oh my, hate to see them go, but love to watch them leave. There's a cleanup on aisle 3. Yeah, it's minimum wage, but sometimes it pays to be the checkout boy. I'm gonna take them to the bakery and roll them around, open up the freezer, try to cool them on down. Buy a dozen roses, they're twice marked down. They only really love my employee discount. Next in line, please. I'm gonna scan them melons, gonna bag them buns, gonna sack those thighs, thinking my oh my, hate to see them go, but love to watch them leave. There's a cleanup on aisle 3. Yeah, it's minimum wage, but sometimes it pays to be the checkout. Oh, yeah, it's minimum wage, but sometimes it pays to be the checkout boy. Remember, ladies, it is double coupon day. Oh, I'm gonna need a price check on this one. Come on down, let me check you out.
The checkout boy, M. Callahan. And please go to mcallahanmusic.com and you can download his music from iTunes. Go to iTunes and get his music. I know you'll be happy that you did. Mike, are you writing for any other singers or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm always writing for different singers. Here in Nashville, we'll get a pitch. It's called a pitch sheet. And it will be basically like a list of all the artists that have albums coming out. So it'll basically say like, the artist name. It'll be like looking for an up-tempo music about love. And it'll say album will be done in 2 months. And it'll list the producer. So basically you can look at that sheet and then try to write a song and then have the song pitched to the artist and see if they like it. If they like it, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll put a hold on it, and sometimes they'll even cut it. So if they cut it, it means basically that they've recorded the song and it's going to come out on their album. So I do that and pitch songs to artists. I've had a couple holds by some pretty big artists in town, and it's just, it's something you do. It's Nashville. You're writing every day. You're pitching material. You're recording your own material. You gotta have a lot of things going on at once.
A lot of us out here don't realize the amount of hard work, and you mentioned that before, but we don't realize the amount of hard work and the determination that goes in this thing. But listening to you talk, you eat, sleep, and live music, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And it's like radio with me, and it might be something else for somebody else. You're just consumed by this thing, whatever it is, and you, even like you said, even if you try to quit, there's no way on God's green earth you could quit. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. it's just something you got to do. I have to do it. I go out to dinner and I'll see something that happens and I'll have my little pad out and I'll write down a couple words, or I'll put it in my iPhone and I'll take some notes, and constantly trying to get song ideas, or if I hear something in my head, trying to record it in the middle of the night, into my phone. Just it's a 24-hour thing, I'm addicted.
With this technology that we have, like you said, in the middle of the night, there's something trying to get out of your head, you can just record it on your iPhone or this stuff. I had Rick Fowler, and I mentioned him a lot. But I had Rick Fowler, who has Rick Fowler Band out of Athens, Georgia, and they play rock blues and the good old blues and all that kind of stuff. But when he was on, he said, when we was talking about technology, he said, it's great. He said, but it's almost like you have these millions of people standing in this open field, and everybody's lifting up a sign, and it says, "Pick me." He said everybody has the same words on the sign. Pick me. And I know what he was saying, but I think as long as we can feel the goosebumps and the music gets into us and we get into the music, we can separate the chaff from the wheat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think one of the sayings out here, it starts with a song, or it begins with a song. It's all about the nuts and bolts. It's if you can sit down with the guitar by yourself and sing a song and give those people those goosebumps that you're talking about, there's something there. I mean, there's some magic there, and you produce it, you can do all these different things to it, but at the end of the day, I mean, everybody around here is still primarily looking at the song. If you've got that magic there, you don't need all these bells and whistles. You don't need all the technology, because it's simple, man. It's about having a pencil, having a little sheet of paper, your guitar, and your voice. And
something coming from down deep inside. It's just an amazing, an amazing natural process for some folks. I guess, God gives us all certain talents, and some of us use them, and some of us don't, and some of us are still looking for it, and all those other things. But I guess all talent is like that. When we find our place in our passion, it's not forced. It just flows out of us, and it like amazes our own selves, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think if you're in the zone and you're deep in it, sometimes it will definitely flow. I think that's the natural talent, but then you also have the skilled craft of songwriting. Sometimes it doesn't flow, so you have to lean on the tools of the trade that you've learned here from other songwriters. And I think those two things working together, that's when something happens that's consistent, and you can write every day, and it's up to a certain level. Every once in a while I'll get lucky and I'll just write a song straight out. But most of the time, I'll write a little bit of it, and then I'll have to go back and rewrite, and then look at it, and then rewrite it again, and then think about it a little bit more, then rewrite it again, and then it's maybe okay.
Do you ever? I write, and there are times that my brain. My wife will tell you it's all the time, but there are times that my brain just turns to mush. Do songwriters go through that too?
Yeah. There are different tricks. If something like that happens, with me, I'll change the environment. I'll go for I'll go for a ride in my car
Uh-huh.
through the country, and I'll start to have some ideas will come to me, or I'll listen to some different music, or I'll watch some old movies. So it's almost like writer's block, I think, a little bit, to where you got to get out of the routine sometimes, to find that inspiration.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because when I sit down in front of the computer and the screen is white and the little cursor's sitting there flashing at me, and I'm staring at it, and then when I start talking to it, I know that something's blocked up here. I've got to get up and find some way of releasing this thing so things can flow again. But I just wondering if songwriters go through that too.
Oh man, that's the hardest part of writing a song, is staring at a blank page when you're first starting it. I'd much rather, because in the process of writing a song, I would much rather be at the end of the song where I'm working on a chorus or I'm rewriting some lyrics on a verse, because it's really daunting when and I guess when you're staring at a blank sheet of paper, you sort of question yourself, and you're like, man, can I write a song that's better than the last one I wrote? Am I going to be able to do that again? So you just sort of have to dive in and have faith in your abilities and just see what comes out. And sometimes it might not be a good song. You might write 10 songs that are horrible, but you come up with that one song that's magic. And I think you have to get out of the mindset of having everything be perfect, because you're not right away. You know how it is when you're a writer. You go into it, and it's a little rough.
Yeah.
You're gonna refine what you do.
Mike, you have been so gracious. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, wherever you're listening to us from, or when you listen to us later on, please go to mcallahanmusic.com. Do yourself a favor. Read all about it and get the music. You can get it at iTunes. Bring it down. Tell your friends. Get people gathered around your listening device and play it and kick back the chair and dance and really check out that Chicken on a Chain. That's a good one. I like that one. I like them all, but I like Chicken on a Chain. But anyhow, and then call your radio stations, your local radio stations. Now here in our neck of the woods on the Eastern Shore, on the peninsula, we've got some cat country right down the road down there. So we'll get on the horn and we'll ask them to put M. Callahan on the rotation, because he's got something going on. And then, Mike, if you send me that stuff, we'll make sure we get it out and do whatever we need to do to get you going, bud.
I sure will. No problem.
You've been so gracious, and I'm going to keep playing your songs. But thank you so much for coming tonight, Mike. I've kept you almost 65 minutes, and I appreciate that.
Man, I had a blast. Anytime, just give me a ring. You got my number, and thank you so much for having me, George.
I got you. I got your email. I got your number. Got the whole 9 yards. So let's stay in touch, and we'll do it again, bud.
Will do. Sounds great. Thank you.
And listen, if you ever get up this way in Delaware, Maryland, close to us, give me a holler.
I will, man. I'll play a show and sleep on your couch.
All right, bud. That'll work. That'll work. That'll definitely work.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, buddy. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. M. Callahan, Nashville, Tennessee. Singer, songwriter, musician. Wow. And he does super at all those things. I can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, but he can sing, write songs, and play an instrument. Wow. That's getting something done. M. Callahan, The Day We Fell in Love.
There ain't nothing like a lover with a stone cold touch. grown so damn close, yet we're further apart. Now you don't even know who I am. No, you only see half the man. Can we ever find a way on back, like a needle in an old haystack? I'd give anything to feel like that day we fell in love. It was you and me up against the world. There wasn't nothing gonna stop us when I met you, girl. Each other was all we had, and forever was what we planned. Can we ever find a way on back, like a needle in an old haystack? I'd give anything to feel like that day we fell in love. Can we ever find a way on back, strike a match and pray the fires catch? I want to feel a flame like that day we fell in love. So tonight, let's love without regrets. Bare our souls till nothing's left. I can't bring my heart to give up yet, so don't you give up. Can we ever find a way on back, like a needle in an old haystack? I'd give anything to feel like that day we fell in love. Can we ever find a way on back, strike a match and pray the fires catch? I wanna feel a flame like that day we fell in love. I'd give anything to feel like that day we fell in love.
The day we fell in love, our friend M. Callahan. And we thank him for being with us tonight. So gracious to take the time out of a busy schedule. The man is just flat out busy. And he can sing, play an instrument, write songs. I think that's so neat. Listen, tomorrow night, Friday night, and you know how Friday nights are around here at the Funny Farm in our world. About the only thing that we do know on Friday nights is our guest and what our guest is going to be bringing to the table. After that, after our guest leaves, well, just about every night after our guest leaves, insanity, like a huge blanket, falls down upon us, and we are not responsible any longer for the things that we do. We try to say the right things, but, you know, if we fall off our chair or walk out the window or do all them other things, you know, that's noted to be done here at the Funny Farm, well, we're not ashamed and we're not embarrassed. Them things happen because this is the Funny Farm. But tomorrow night on the serious side, the first part of the show, we're going to have a guest by the name of Catherine Albridge. And I want you to listen to this because it is a very relevant show tomorrow night. This is our country, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is our country. This is America. And it is still, for the time being, it's still we the people. And I challenge you to write it on your forehead or someone else's forehead or in your iPhone or on a pad of paper, wherever you keep notes, very special notes. Please write this down. Tomorrow night, June the 21st, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Spreaker Network, we will have with us Catherine Albridge. And I'm going to read it just like it is so you can understand it. Americans going after the NSA. First-class action suit is underway. Now listen to this. While scandal after scandal continues to percolate from the ugly morass of a White House administration rapidly losing the confidence of the American people, many are paralyzed, wondering what is the recourse. After all, and sometimes when I watch these congressional hearings, it causes me to spit sideways. After all, congressional hearing Palooza only seems to generate countless hours of, at best, public scolding, with no one actually held accountable. Well, get ready, because the American citizen is preparing to fight back with a potential floodgate of class action lawsuits against the federal government about to open. Up first, parents of a Navy SEAL killed in a high-profile helicopter crash in Afghanistan have filed a class action suit against the National Security Agency and Verizon since Edward Snowden leaked the NSA's phone surveillance secret. The plaintiffs argue that they were targeted for surveillance for their outspoken criticism of Barack Obama and the U.S. military, believing the administration's irresponsible and self-serving policies were to blame for the crash. And then there's a website, and we'll put that up on the show news page tomorrow. Catherine Albridge is an unparalleled policy and technology expert as they specifically relate to privacy, and she can provide a unique perspective on this topic with the understanding that it's evolving every day. This lawsuit is an incredible story, says Albridge, who anticipates many more to come. Ed Snowden lifted the rock, and now the light is shining on all the bugs scurrying out. Catherine Albridge will be with us tomorrow night to tell us about this class action lawsuit. The parents of a Navy SEAL that was killed in a helicopter crash. And if I recall correctly, that Navy SEAL and others were part of SEAL Team 6. And I won't say no more. I'll wait until tomorrow night, and we'll get all the skinny on everything. So join me tomorrow night. That's the serious part of the show. And then, let me get my gizmo here. Hold on. Okay. And then, after our guest leaves, and that cloud of insanity that falls down upon us each and every night, it will fall down upon us one more time. And this is what we're going to do tomorrow night after Catherine Albridge leaves. We are going to, if I can hit the right button, come on, Espinlob, straighten up here. We are going to highlight the music of Johnny Reed, R-E-A-D-E, Johnny Reed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, wherever you may be listening, if you want to listen to some good foot tapping, finger snapping, head bobbing, booty shaking music, I mean, the kind that'll cause you to get up, even if you don't want to get up, it'll cause you to get up. It automatically lift you up out of your seat, and it'll set your feet dancing. Go to Reverb Nation and type in the little search box there, Johnny Reed, R-E-A-D-E, and it'll bring up his music. Now, listen to me. This man is amazing. He is very modest. He is very humble. He don't play any gigs. He doesn't go anywhere, and I'm trying to remember his words. He doesn't do much of anything, he says. Runs his business. He's been busy running his business. But he just makes music and then just puts it out there. It's amazing. Tomorrow night, we are going to take the time after our guest leaves, and we are going to feature Johnny Reed, R-E-A-D-E. We're going to feature him and his music. We're going to find out a little bit about his bio or something or another, and we're going to play his music, and you are going to dance. I know we here at the Funny Farm are going to kick it back, kick it down, knock it down, roll it over, stumble upon it, do whatever, but we are going to get out on the dance floor, and we are going to get our groove on as we play Johnny Reed's music tomorrow night. So tune in, and tell a friend, tell a family member, tell anybody, even if you don't know them. Just tap them on the shoulder, say, "Excuse me, but do you listen to the George Espinlaub Show?" And they'll say, "Who?" And you say, "The George Espinlaub Show." And then tell them where they can find it, Spreaker.com. And then hopefully they can come too. And I thank you. I thank you for all of your kind words, for you that have been sending email. I thank you for all the support and everything that you have done. We thank you from the depths of our heart, each and every one of us here at the Funny Farm. We live in our world, but we are for real. I'm telling you. You just got to believe me on that one. M. Callahan. This ain't right.
Matchbox cars, baseball cards, scattered everywhere round the foot of his bed. And Grandma's quilt, a cup of warm milk. In all my life, I never seen such innocence. But tonight at story time, there was something on his mind. And with tears in his eyes, he said, "I'm thinking, Daddy, this ain't right. I saw it on TV tonight. I kept seeing all this fighting, all this crying, and people living in the streets. And I'm thinking, Daddy, this ain't right." I turned the night light on. My little boy's all grown. It feels like yesterday I was tying his shoes. Now he's asking Dad if I gave up all I had, just a little bit to everyone. Daddy, what would that do? Then he climbed out of his bed and he opened his toy chest and said, "Give them all of this, 'cause I'm thinking, Daddy, this ain't right. I saw it on TV tonight. I kept seeing all this fighting, all this crying, and people living in the streets. And I'm thinking, Daddy, this ain't right." Now what am I supposed to say to that? He thinks I'm Superman, I'm just a dad. It ain't like a bruise or a scraped up knee. Can't fix this one, it's bigger than me. A kiss won't take his pain away. So I said, "Son, why don't we pray? Together let us pray. We're thinking, Father, this ain't right. We're thinking, Father, this ain't right. We've been seeing all this fighting, all this crying, and people living in the streets. Your children are dying, bullets flying. Can't we ever live in peace? We're thinking, Father, this ain't right. We're thinking, Father, this ain't right.
M. Callahan, This Ain't Right. And in just a moment, we'll be playing some more of M. Callahan's music. Go to mcallahanmusic.com. M. Callahan, Callahan, music.com. mcallahanmusic.com. And read all about it. And download his music from iTunes. And when we get the package that he's sending us, we'll let you know, and we'll do what we have to do so we can get his music out there even further. And thank you so much, Michael. I have one of my Facebook friends wrote something early this morning. Well, I guess about 8 hours ago, whenever that was. And it just cracked me up, and I've been cracking up over it all day. I'd like to read exactly what he wrote. I won't mention his name. I'll just tell you what he wrote. He said, "Thought I had seen the worst movie of the summer when I was forced to sit through the train wreck that Oblivion. Then I saw Man of Steel. Please do yourself a favor. Go watch Fungus Grow for free." Yeah, it took you a while. It took you a while, but you finally got it. Can I read that to you one more time? All right. "Thought I had seen the worst movie of the summer when I was forced to sit through the train wreck that is Oblivion. Then I saw Man of Steel. Please do yourself a favor. Go watch Fungus Grow for free." You know, when I read that this morning, it just cracked me up. And I've been thinking about it off and on all day. And I was sitting here listening to music, and I picked up my iPhone and I popped it up, and that's what came up again. So I thought, I'm going to read this to the people. Oh, boy. Go do yourself a favor. Watch Fungus Grow for free. Somebody's arms. Espen Love, you are goofy. M. Callahan.
Of God, it's killing me, 'cause any fool can see where you are. You're in somebody's arms, holding him close tonight, while I'm sitting here alone, trying to chase your memory off of my mind. I held the world here in the can still feel you slipping through my fingers when I close my eyes. You're in somebody's arms, holding him close tonight, while I'm sitting here alone, trying to chase your memory off of my mind. I can't forgive the hell I put you through. I bet a man would have never lost you. It's a cold hard truth. I'll always be in love with you, but you're in somebody's arms, holding him close tonight, while I'm sitting here alone, trying to chase your memory off of my mind. You're in somebody's arms, holding him close tonight, while I'm sitting here alone, trying to chase your memory off of my mind. Fishing hole, a catfish pulling on my best cane pole, bullfrogs humming, my old dog sitting by me. And my grandpa, he's up at dawn, hands in the soil just a working that farm. He thanks the Lord as he drops another seed. It's my little piece of heaven on God's green earth, where the sun shines down on a hard day's work. In this here town, everybody knows your name. It's just a dot on the map, but it's home to me. Yeah, I'm smack dab right where I ought to be. When my day comes, you can lay me in that dirt on God's green earth. Now the homecoming queen, I call her my wife. She's sweet on the lips like peach moonshine. And one of these days we'll add to the family tree. And Father O'Donnell at the church where we go, his sermons on Sunday solid as old. We all join in as the choir starts to sing. It's my little piece of heaven on God's green earth, where the sun shines down on a hard day's work. In this here town, everybody knows your name. It's just a dot on the map, but it's home to me. Yeah, I'm smack dab right where I ought to be. When my day comes, you can lay me in that dirt on God's green earth. On God's green earth. It's my little piece of heaven on God's green earth, where the sun shines down on a hard day's work. It's my little piece of heaven on God's green earth, where the sun shines down. It's my little piece of heaven on God's green earth, where the sun shines down on a hard day's work. In this here town, everybody knows your name. It's just a dot on the map, but it's home to me. Yeah, I'm smack dab right where I ought to be. When my day comes, you can lay me in that dirt. Oh, when my day comes, just lay me in that dirt on God's green earth.
M. Callahan, God's Green Earth. Ah, lordy, 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 lordy. We have had a blast tonight. We're not quite done yet. No, not quite. I thank Mike Callahan for being with us tonight. He's so gracious. He spent over an hour with us, talking to us and telling us about his life and his music, his passions, his aspirations, and all those things. And we played his music in between time, and we're going to play the rest of it before we go. He is a tremendous singer, songwriter, and musician. So do yourself a favor. mcallahanmusic.com. mcallahanmusic.com. All one word. mcallahanmusic.com. You read all about it and get his music. It will be a real delight for you and your friends and your family to listen to. And it'll get your feet a-moving. That's what we need. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? We live in a world of stress and strain, and people's tighter than a banjo string, and they fret about this, and we fret about that, and we don't know if things are up, down, sideways, in between, back and forth, behind us. We live in a world of turmoil. You know what? Just step back, take a great big deep breath, and put some of M. Callahan's music on, and forget about everything for a while. It won't hurt you, and I'll guarantee you, whatever it is that you was fussing and fighting with will still be there after the music's over. And that is when you put more music on and go right back to moving your feet and shaking your booty. So, don't take life too serious. It's too short. You know what I'm saying?
I can't flatter you with Shakespeare or spin you round the room like Fred Astaire. I'm not swimming in a pool of money. I ain't exactly debonair. But when it comes down to you and me, I think I got the secret recipe. Oh, baby, there ain't nobody can touch your body like I do. Girl, I'll cover you with kisses. Ain't an inch I'm missing. I can't get enough of you. Let my fingers do the talking. Can you feel them saying I love you? Oh, baby, there ain't nobody can touch your body like I do. Barefoot in your cotton dress, it don't hide much, and I can fill in the rest. I'm getting lost between your tan lines, honey, but I don't need no GPS. Just let your hair down and kick off them shoes, 'cause tonight you know it's all about you. Oh, baby, there ain't nobody can touch your body like I do. Girl, I'll cover you with kisses. Ain't an inch I'm missing. I can't get enough of you. Let my fingers do the talking. Can you feel them saying I love you? Oh, baby, there ain't nobody can touch your body like I do. Sometimes the words, they don't say enough. It all comes down to the way we touch.
That's just so good. Uh-oh. Hold still. That's one landing. More people coming to the funny farm. Wow. Yep, that they're gonna go to the funny farm airport. You know, we're self-sustained stuff to be a bit. Yeah, that's all, folks. We are self-sustained here on the funny farm. We have our own airport, and that was an airplane bringing more people here, because once you are here, there are many that come, but few that leave. We have more incoming flights to the airport than we have outgoing. And many times when those outgoing airplanes are outgoing, because they're outgoing, they're going out there somewhere, they'll get out there so far and then they'll turn around and come back because the passengers decided we don't want to go back to the real world. We want to stay here in our world at the funny farm. So the plane turns around, brings them back, and everybody lives happy ever after. We don't hold anyone hostage around here. No, we don't hold anyone hostage. They stay voluntarily. They stay here at their own free will because it's safer here in our world than it is in yours.
There's a neon sign on a red dirt road saying welcome to paradise, and the hillbilly junk that I call my truck is sitting there on the right. The old gray goat climbing on my boat pulls the doors right off of the line, and the dog named Elvis that I found in Memphis is watching the cars go by. It don't sound like much, but it's my little piece of the pie. It may not be Trump Towers, boy, but I'm living the high life in Trailer Park Paradise. In Trailer Park Paradise. There's old Bobby Jack with the shell house tat saying born in the USA, and Rita sitting there with curlers in her hair. She been baking them beans all day. Throw the satellite dish on the barbecue pit. We're gonna boil them crawfish down. Turn the twinkle lights on and burn them all year long. You can see them from the edge of town. Now we don't need martinis or a fancy French menu. We got quick stop chili cheese weenies and an ice cold Mountain Dew. In Trailer Park Paradise. In Trailer Park Paradise. Yeah, Trailer Park Paradise. Yeah, Trailer Park Paradise. Come on. So if you're passing by and you see the sign, my screen door's open most all the time. No dress code needed, no cover charge. We got Smokey and the Bandit on the VCR. Throw the tarp in the truck, crank the water hose up, jump off that roof and do a belly flop. She's a single wide with a double white bun. So come on down and get you some of the beautiful life in Trailer Park Paradise. In Trailer Park Paradise. Yeah, Trailer Park Paradise. Yeah, Trailer Park Paradise. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on down. Get your piece of the pie.
Trailer Park Paradise in Callahan. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's just about that time. Time for Charlie and I to get out of here one more time. You know, time goes by so fast when you're having fun. And that's true. That's true. I was sitting here thinking tonight as I was talking to Mike Callahan, as I often think, and as I often say, it's a real privilege to sit behind this microphone and talk to all of these wonderful people, be it authors, politicians, judges, doctors, whatever, musicians, artists. It makes no difference. It's a real privilege to be able to do this night after night. I'm just honored. I'm just honored to be able to do this. And I thank you, because if it wasn't for you people that listens, you that listen to us live, and then you that listen to us at your convenience, day or night, I thank you from the depths of my heart, and everyone here at the Funny Farm thanks you and appreciate you so very, very much. So continue to pass the word to people and tell them to tune in to the George Espinlab Show Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Spreaker.com. We have some tremendous guests that are scheduled. We'll just keep on doing it like we've been doing it, so we can keep on doing it. Join me tomorrow night when Catherine Umbrich is here, and she will be talking about the class action lawsuit that is being brought against the federal government, the NSA, and Edward Snowden, or Verizon, and the death of their son, a Navy SEAL who was killed in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. She will give us all the nuts and the bolts. She is an expert, and she will be filling us in. And ladies and gentlemen, please join us tomorrow night. This is our country. It is still, for the time being, we the people. I want to say hello to my good friend Titus Plumeritis up there in, is it New Hampshire? Yes, in New Hampshire. Grew up in Lowell, Massachusetts, and now lives just across the state line in New Hampshire, I think. But I want to send my regards to him and to his family. And if you've never read his book, ladies and gentlemen, take the time to go to Amazon.com and get the book, Titus, written by Titus Plumeritis. It is a good read. There's so many good reads out there. And to all my friends out there in Ohio and Pennsylvania, to my friend Harry over there in Ireland, my friend Graham, who was in Italy, but now he's back in England, to my friend Marky Mark in England, and to Simon, and to Jonathan, all from the UK, to Maria Danes from the UK, to Marva down under. I'm going to miss somebody, to Ed out in Las Vegas, to all of our guests, to I'm going to get in trouble. I know I am. To everyone. The past, the present, and I say hello to our future guests. You don't know it yet. Some of you do. Some of you don't. But you're soon to be on the George Espinlab Show. We're going to get out of here. It has been a real delight. mcallahanmusic.com. mcallahanmusic.com. Thank you, Michael, for being on the show with us tonight, and we wish you nothing but the best. And ladies and gentlemen, listen to these artists that we feature. Call your local radio stations and request that they put their music in the rotation, and you'll be doing everyone a tremendous favor. Wow. There's a whole lot of love coming to you from the Funny Farm. We want you to know that. From my mom, Charlie, Harvey, Miss Ernestine, Travis, from the whole gang here. This is George Espinlove challenging you. Be kind one to another. Be safe. Don't take no wooden nickels. And make sure you join me tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Spreaker.com, because we are going to have us a show. And then, after our guest leaves, we are going to rock this place down featuring Johnny Reed's music, so you don't want to miss it. If it's nighttime, have a good night. If it's already daytime, you have a great day. But regardless of what it is and where you are, till tomorrow night, same time, same station, this is George Espinlove saying God bless you. Good night, everybody.